All right, John, so you guys have shoveled dirt, moved rocks around. What's the process now?
Okay, so we tried to find a somewhat level spot, level spot, and then we've got to be able to make a place for the fire pit, and where the red clay tile is, that's going to be the chimney. And so a lot of people think that you got to build the fire in the mud oven. Well, you got to build it underneath to heat the oven. So we got to make sure we got a good chimney draft and try to keep it so when we pack mud around it, it does not fill in with mud and plug it.
Yeah, make sure you keep the draft going. So you've got the two rocks there, you know, as you're like an elbow in a chimney right there.
So I'm struggling trying to find the perfect rocks because I'm not a masonry guy, you know, with round rocks. But
yeah, we don't have blocks here. We got rocks. Right?
Yeah, well, I do have
a couple cheaters. Yeah, I see that.
I cheated. We can show that. It's okay. I mean, I'm using my resources, what I can find.
Yep. Reuse, repurpose.
And I get debating whether I should have got two of them or another one and to make that a little bit taller, which I think I probably will go get another one at some point.
Okay.
Probably before we start throwing mud. Okay, so I've cleaned the bucket out with the wire brush, and now I pre-drilled holes in here. This is where my oven rack goes in, and this is the number 9 wire. I took them out of the old rusty one, and I'm just going to poke them through the holes, provided I drilled my holes big enough. I measured the holes precisely so it's nice and even, because we all know how we like our ovens to sit level. So the key part will be later on making sure we get the oven set on the ground and in the rocks perfectly level so our food cooks evenly and uneven instead of unevenly. I got 6 of these, so
I brought 2 more just in case you want to higher.
That should be good, I think. We got maybe a little bit more space.
Because it's lean.
And set it so that we have airflow, maybe a little bit closer.
And we have in more?
No, that should work. I mean, half a chimney. We don't want the fire to get so hot that we burn our food. I mean, because we can't really. The only way we're going to regulate the oven is by how big the fire is, and so it doesn't take much for the heat. And we have sand in the bottom of the bucket to hold the heat. Everything around it, it should be well insulated. Yeah. But basically just getting the sand heated and then things will cook nicely after that. Okay, so I don't know if you can see, I've got the wires sitting in the bucket. Now I'm going to try and level them out just a little bit so the pan will sit level.
There you go. So we can see the oven rack in there now.
And if the pan doesn't sit level, then somebody gets extra brownie or whatever we cook, and the other person gets cheated a little bit.
Cheated a little bit, maybe a little burned on the bottom even. You never know.
When you're cooking brownies, some people like it doughy and some people like it hard, and so if you get in the middle, you got the happy medium. Okay, so I'm going to temporarily take it over to the fire pit and just see how we're going to make it fit in there. And I think that's going to work pretty good. So I have it sitting over here by the fire pit, what we sort of started, and just want to make sure there's room to build a fire underneath. You got to get it high enough and then prop rocks to hold it up, and then we'll fill all the cracks with mud. So we'll start doing that. Okay, so we think we got the bucket set level. I'm going to do what I call the water test. Got a little cap full of water, going to throw it in there and see if it runs out. Good?
Yeah, good.
Okay, so what I've done now is I've mixed up some mud. I got some clay over here, and I'll show you what I did. I made me a little pond and just poured a little water in there. Take the loose stuff in there and stir it up. This is my mortar to help hold the bricks in place. It will probably last about as long as that tub bucket does for the oven. But I try to mix it up, get a nice gooey, not real runny. This is really the fun part. Everybody should do this. And then I've been smearing it up and putting it on here. And I'm trying to get it to where when it rains, there's no pockets that will hold water. Because if it holds water, then it just has a tendency to when it freezes, or just make the mud soft. So it rains, it comes down and goes off. And yeah, I have some sticks and grass in there that helps secure it a little bit. And then trying to smooth it out the best that I can. And we're at that stage, we probably go ahead and light it and get some heat in there to help dry it out from the inside, and then maybe we'll cook something in there.
Okay, John, now it looks like you've got kind of a trough coming out the front. What's the thinking there?
Oh, the trough? Well, we've had a year of rain, so rather than the rainwater going in to smother the fire, I'm going to dig a little bit more later and just get the water so it runs out.
Oh, erosion control, is that what we're...
Yeah, erosion
okay.
control, help prevent a little, because when we took it apart there was a lot of dirt in it. I think it's probably mud that fell in from the oven just through the years, but want to make sure that it drains and water doesn't go in there and smother your oven out, because we rely on the fire to cook.
Good plan. You want to point out your rock for us?
My rocks? Oh, well, there's a lot of nice rocks in this pile here, but here's this one right here that's got a nice little round groove. Maybe a real rock person can tell me, but I think it might be something from the Native Americans. I don't know, that they might have ground cornmeal or whatever in there. There's this one here. I'm going to say, I really need Gary here,
Yeah.
that this is probably a volcanic rock because it's got the holes in there. And then I've got some sandstone laying around, got some granite, got all kinds of mix in this mud oven here, so it's multi-purpose, I guess.
Educational
Yes.
and serviceable.
Educational and usable.